Hey, what's going on, people? Thanks for tuning in. It's good to finally be live. Yeah, I've postponed this one a couple of times. Tim, good to see you, mate. I'm glad you could tune in. Really glad you made it. Um, I know I've had to delay this stream a couple of times. I was a little bit sick earlier in the week, so I didn't get to do it when I wanted to initially. And I was going to do it about 2 hours ago. But I just got a phone. I had a phone call from my parents. I haven't seen them in about 6 months, and they just popped in to see me at the new house. So yeah, it was really nice to sort of catch up with them for a couple of hours. So yeah, I'm really happy to be here now. Hopefully, it's a good time of day for everyone. I know it's 1 p.m. in the afternoon here on Tuesday. So yeah, like I said, I've had to postpone it. I sort of haven't the last couple of streams. I haven't really planned all that well. I haven't put the post out on Instagram. So yeah, my endeavor is to organize my shit a little bit more for next time, and yeah, hopefully sort of get back to a semi-regular schedule after a sketchy couple of weeks. Yeah, just had a few. Oh, just had a few little bugs and colds and stuff like that. We're just sort of coming out of winter and it's spring and hay fever and all that fun stuff. So yeah, hope everyone is doing well. It's good to be here and hanging out. Just sort of, I don't know. I don't really have a lot to talk about. Just talk about the Hasbro PulseCon reveals from the other day. There's not a lot there. Yeah, not a great deal to talk about. Some cool stuff, but yeah, I know they're sort of obviously holding back. We've got New York Toy Fair and New York Comic Con coming up very, very shortly. So, my friend Fallen Jedi's here. Mr. Tim Hayes. JCC, what's going on, my man? How are you? It's good. 8:30 p.m. Northern California. Well, it's not a too bad of a time for you folks over in the US. But they held back too much, very little reveals, still decent stuff though. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the thing with PulseCon, it was something that they sort of come up with during COVID when there were no conventions. So they sort of just did their own thing. They had to, and now I feel like they're just trying to keep it alive when they don't really need to anymore. They can go back to the conventions and maybe go back to some form of normality. Maybe make PulseCon something different. I don't know. Interesting to see what they do, whether they try and stick with it, being their sort of online, reveal show sort of thing. Maybe, yeah, like you said, a little bit more, but it's good. Face looks a little bit red. I think I'm a little bit flushed. Yeah, I'm okay. I do feel a little bit warm, but yeah, I was just outside a little bit ago. But yeah, it'll calm down. Could also be my terrible lighting in this room. Yeah, just a little bit warm. I just had a nice glass of water, so I'm not dehydrated or anything like that. I do have a coffee beverage here in my skull chalice. I bought these ages ago, and they pretty much went straight into storage. And yeah, using them for the first time here in the new house, so good for like iced coffees and stuff like that. They look cool. $11:32 bed. I appreciate you hanging out, man. I probably won't make it a long one this afternoon. It is, like I said, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so it is beautiful. There's not a cloud in the sky. Beautiful blue day. I do have to get out and mow the lawn at some point. I may just hold off and do that on the weekend coming up, but it is a nice day, so I do feel like I should get out there and give the old lawn a bit of a trim. Greetings to you, my master. I'm doing very well, thank you. Yeah, better than I have been the last couple of days, that's for sure. Yesterday I was okay. Yeah, sort of turned for the good yesterday, but it was a Friday. I wasn't great. Saturday I wasn't 100%. I was going to do the live stream on Saturday evening, but yeah, certainly wasn't feeling myself. So I did spend Sunday. As you can see, Black Series, they're out. They're out. It's exciting. I've almost got them all set up. I'm just debating what I'm going to do to finish up. I'll give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek, but I'm going to do my sort of weekly vlog update. So that's the wall that was sort of empty. I finally got some shelving up for the Black Series. Some areas of it a lot more fuller than I'd like them to be. So without going up too high, I wanted to sort of keep it at an eye level, and the top shelf is pretty much at eye level for me, if not a little bit lower. I don't want to go too high because I don't want to lose all the figures. So I'm just sort of deciding what I'm going to do there. Whether I bring it out into the middle of the room a little bit more, because I still have all my animated figures to display, like all Clone Wars, and I want to give them a bit of room. My Rebels, Resistance, all that kind of stuff. And then over here, you know, that's kind of full. But I'm really liking the spacings I've done there for everything. I know, like, where the Revenge of the Sith stuff is there. There's quite a lot of space there. I could condense that up and put some Clone Wars stuff in there, but I know, you know, I've got probably enough Clone Wars stuff to fill up, you know, that whole length around the corner. So, and I don't want to go on top because there's, you know, that's out of eye level. So I'm trying to decide whether I do get another little shelf or put something up over the top of the desk. You know, if I go get another shelf, get rid of the desk, have another shelf there to use as a desk, and then have a couple of higher up shelves above that for some Clone Wars animated stuff. So that's probably what I'm leaning towards the most at this stage, is just adding another length of shelving there. So hopefully in the next few weeks I can do that. But yeah, I've got figures have fallen over. I've made adjustments, you know, space things out a little bit more in terms of things. I still want to make some changes, particularly down the bottom here. They're all my sequel figures down there. They're a little bit in the dark. I want to drop those down because I'm going to get those tubs out, and they can slot under there and drop that shelf down a little bit just to give that a little bit more exposure. And then I really need to get, I don't know how I'm going to, because it's going to cost a bit, is get the Jabba's Palace, the Boba Fett's Palace playset, because I didn't pre-order it. I wasn't in the financial situation to be able to pre-order it. So I have missed out. Word is the Zing and Ibi Games here in Australia are getting a second lot. So whether I can get one on eBay, I'm probably going to have to pay extras, which is annoying, but I need that set. Like, I really want it to fit in the middle there, because that's all, you know, you got the Rancor, I've got the dungeon, Jabba in the middle, got the little side bit there. But yeah, really need to get that Jabba's Palace sort of diorama set in there as well. So I've got a few plans. Few plans and not enough cash. It's always the way. Hey, you guys have been dropping some comments while I've been talking. Francisco, what's going on, dude? Good to see you. Great to finally join the live. Hope to see your celebration over here at the States at Galaxy's Edge. Oh, dude, either one. I'm fingers crossed for Japan. I assume you're going to go to Japan then. Yeah, I'm dreaming of going to Japan. I would love to do even a short trip to the US, back to California, just, you know, not even a week. Like, I would do that just to spend a couple of days at Galaxy's Edge. But the dollar sucks at the moment. The conversion rate is horrible. So I don't know if that's going to happen too soon. But we'll see. It's great to hear from you, though, bud. And yeah, it's awesome to see you here in the chat. That's awesome. Oh, gonna get my Lego minifigures set back up. Totally redid my Lego shelves, and they're all chilling in trays right now. I don't think I want to display a lot of them anymore. It's hard, man. It is hard. Like, you may have seen in my last vlog, all my DC multiverse stuff is actually on display in another room. And just last week, I went and got rid of probably 80% of my Marvel Legends collection. I went and sold that off to a toy flipper, to a toy dealer here in Adelaide. I just needed them gone. I was sick of listing them on Facebook Marketplace and dealing with idiots in the groups there. Just getting stupid questions. I have kept a bunch of Marvel Legends. I've got some stuff that I just can't bear to part with. And I do have like a sub pile of Marvel Legends that I'm thinking about it. And I'm like, I can afford to get rid of those. So I've kind of stuck with, I've got my Guardians of the Galaxy lineup from the last movie. So I've got them. I'm happy with them. All my Spider-Mans, I'm happy with them. And I've got a couple of animated characters. Like I've got MODOK, I've got Thanos, and they're ones that I'm not sure that I'm going to keep anymore. For the most part, I think, yeah, Spider-Man's and just keeping that Guardians of the Galaxy lineup. I love the blue suits from that movie. So I'll probably keep them. And now that Hasbro, thankfully, have decided they're going to do the Toby, Andrew, and Tom Spider-Man figures individually, I'll be getting on them because I missed out on the 3-pack, and I'm kind of glad I did, because these figures look great, and I really want to have at least the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. Not too fussed about any of the villains at the moment, but yeah, just I've got to get those 3 Spider-Man figures. They look so good. I'm gonna have to make sure I lock in those pre-orders soon. The top plank should be safe for huge vehicles. Yeah, pretty much at the moment, I've got the Razor Crest up there. That was in that shelf there, which took up a lot of space. So I've put the N1 in there. Obviously, lighting still needs to happen. So that'll all pop when that lighting happens. So at the moment, Slave 1, I have the Attack of the Clones Slave 1 sitting up there behind Oswald. Some helmets. I was going to have the helmets up there on top of the Black Series. I still may do that. I'd need to get some more top shelves, so I may extend them up just for the sole purpose of being able to have the helmets. And that will be, I think I want to save that space. I want to find a way to sort of stagger those so I can display all the sort of carded figures. I've got a few up in the corner there. It's because these shelves here don't have the ability to have the pegboard on it like that side. So yeah, I've got some things to work out. But it's good fun. It's good fun to work out. Every time I feel stressed about it, I walk out. I'm like, okay, time to reset, time to get out of here. I don't like it when my hobby starts, bringing me stress. It just shouldn't be. So I go home, go out, rethink about it, and just, take the mind off it and come back in with a clearer picture. Mr. JJ, well, greetings to all from Cincinnati. A couple of Cincinnati boys. Hope everyone's doing good. Linda's here. What's going on, Linda? Hope you're doing well today. Enjoying some of that beautiful blue Adelaide sunshine. It's so good. Rolando's here as well. Awesome. Good to see you, my friend. So annoying how some shelves leave figures in so much shadow. I know. It's if they could all be made of glass, that'd be fantastic. But then you get shadows from the top. It's a cruel world. But yeah, lighting will be happening very, very soon, hopefully. Yeah. It's a fun little project at the moment. I'm having a good time of it, so it's cool. It's just saying hello to each other. Didn't pre-order any playsets, but I did pre-order the Jabba's Denizens pack. Now that's a pack I don't think has been available to anyone here in Australia maybe Aussie Sci-Fi. I haven't checked, but that's a pack I'm really keen to get. Obviously, having the sail barge, I want to get those other three figures for that. So hopefully, yeah, there's that playset is like top of my list. I'd love to get on that. It's $600 here in Australia. The throne room playset is 600. Um, it's $400 less than the Ghost, the HasLab. Um, so yeah, I need to poke some coin away and grab one of those at some point. So hopefully, hopefully, I can get one. So far, it's playing awesome, dude. Yeah, no, definitely. If I can I'll tell you what, if I could find a way to sneak over to the US at some point, I'll definitely hit you up and we'll have a good hangout session at the at Galaxy's Edge, man. Like, as much as I'd love to go over there, and I like to, Star Wars is better with friends. I'd love to just walk in. If I could walk in there on my own, it'd be great. But to walk in with friends is better. Star Wars experience with friends is the best. Just you bond over it straight away. So yeah, if not, Japan is still on the cards for me. TVC anti-numeric X-wing. It is, my friend. It is eluding me. Yes, it is. That one did not get a release here in Australia. There may have been a couple of online retailers that grabbed it, but it didn't make it to any retail. The big one, obviously, Zing and EB Games, they didn't get it. Yeah, that one still has eluded me. I've got Poe Dameron's X-wing, and I've got the Red 3 from some years ago, which you may have even sent me that Red 3 some time ago. Forgive me if I've forgotten whether you did or not. I didn't get Luke's X-wing a few years ago because I opted for the Poe Dameron one instead, just because it was different, and I really love that orange X-wing. I wish they'd done it with the black one, because that is a sick X-wing. I love that orange X-wing. I need to get it out for some shots again. But yeah, the Red 3 big Starklighter X-wing, I do still have that proudly on display. But yeah, I know what you mean. Some of the bigger vehicles, like the X-wings, could probably go on display up top if I could find some cool flight stands. I remember that someone used to do them. I can't remember who it was. There was a online people, and they'd be easy to replicate. Someone had these. They were like a heavy base, and they had 3 sort of acrylic prongs that were all adjustable. So you could kind of balance your ships at different angles depending on how you pivot those stands. And I never did get any, but that would create a little bit more figure space for us to be able to move the vehicles. But I also like some of the vehicles, if you see, it's hard to see, but down there, the Endor, I've got the Endor bunker and the ATST, and then I've got like the Cloud City playset behind that. Here I've got the ATST there. I've got the Naboo Starfighter up there. And the pod races are up in the corner. I will sort of go through and do this when I do my vlog just to show it a little bit closer. But I do like having some of the vehicles on display like that, like in amongst the figures. But yeah, when space is concerned, I'm definitely thinking, spacing it out a little bit more probably would help. So I may do that. I may try and find a way to build those sort of stands, those sort of 3-pronged, like an upside down tripod. Got rid of a lot of my Marvel Legends too. They're awesome figures, but if you have a few, kind of have them all. At least when it comes. Yeah, I agree with you there, big time. 12 months ago, I went sort of pretty heavy back on Marvel Legends again, and I was, building up, comic series Avengers, and it just got to the point where it was like, where does it end? Where do I stop adding characters, adding villains, and it started getting too much trying to do that. And I've done this like 3 or 4 times now with the Marvel Legends figures. Like they keep pulling me back in with cool shit. But I need to really just say no, enough's enough. those 3 Spider-Men that are going to come out from No Way Home, that's got to be my cutoff point. That's got to be it. I've got to, maybe the odd Spider-Man figure here or there, but aside from that, I just got to I've got to stay away. Unless they add some more characters from Guardians. I did keep a Thanos as well, a MCU Thanos. I did keep one of those. I think I did. I kept the King Thanos comic style one, but I'm not sure whether I'm going to try and flip that one because that's some Star Wars money right there. And while I can't display them because all my Marvel Legends are in a box, like, what's the point of having them if you can't display them? So that's kind of where I'm getting now is I'd rather focus on the wars and being able to fit out this room with Star Wars. I've got my Batman stuff in the other room, my DC stuff, which I'm still going to dabble with. Not going to go hardcore. They're always doing some cool stuff at McFarlane. They're doing some really cool stuff. So, yeah, there's always a lot to choose. And even going through all my Black Series and finding double ups and, over the last 18 months when I haven't had access to my collection, I've pretty much replaced all my Rogue One characters when they did the re-release. The only one I didn't get was Chirrut. Just wasn't different enough, but I'm looking at the old Chirrut Black Series now and I'm like, yeah, maybe it could do with an update. So if I can find one cheap enough, but I'm not sure whether the old Black Series are going for all that much on the secondary market now anyway. So, but yeah, there have been some figures that I've replaced. So it's a tricky balance. It is. It's a tricky balance sometimes. Had to restrain myself from collecting for the past month due to Hasbro pushing out too much high dollar items too close together. Yeah, I'm with you there. I know exactly what you mean. It's tough when they they've obviously set aside a part of the calendar where it's like, okay, this is the peak time to do it before Christmas. It's still, it's the dirty C word. I don't like saying that this early in the year. Probably for me, the more hated C word, Christmas. Yeah. We're still like 4 months away. So people aren't starting to think about saving Christmas money just yet. So they've obviously done sort of market research there to work out what's the best time of year to release things. But, for me down here personally, I've just dropped $200 deposit on $1,000 HasLab for the Ghost. If I had to have dropped all the money on the throne room, that's another $600. It was a $200 deposit, but again, or it was a $100 deposit. I can't remember, but again, I wasn't in a financial spot to be able to put a deposit down on that. But trying to talk. So it has. And then Black Series waves. It's just all seem to be about to drop at once. All the Ahsoka figures that are coming out, like the Ezra, the Sabine, they seem to be sneaking out at the same time as the next scheduled wave, which has got the Clone Wars Ahsoka, the Clone Trooper, the Magna Guard, and a couple others. They also seem to be hitting at the same time. And then as well, there's dribs and drabs of TVC stuff as well. But I'm sort of, it's really hard to keep up with even maintaining a list of, things to pre-order, things that are coming, things that have announced. I really would like to spend some more time being able to do that and organize my shit so I can, pre-order and pre-plan a little bit more, but it's not easy. Especially someone who's collecting to both scales, not to completist level, which is a godsend in some ways. If I was at completist level, would be digging a big hole. But yeah, I've seen a few reviews on the Magna Guard. I watched Landspeeder Luke do his review on the Magna Guards, and I'm like, I don't know if I need that figure now. It's a little bit of a bummer, but at the same time, can I fix it? I shouldn't have to fix it, but yeah, I don't know. It's tricky. I'm really trying to limit my spending, but when Cincinnati has places like the toy department, it's hard not to swing by there and drop some cash. Tell me about it. Try working in a place that sells toys as well. IKEA Curio glass cabinets help keep out most of the dust. I haven't seen those ones. Absolute House of Plastic toy store just right outside the east side of Cincinnati. Oh, that's killer, man. I thought so. Yeah, it does feel like a long time ago, doesn't it? I mean, it was probably 10 years. It was probably 10 years, a decade, man. Like that's how long some of these YouTube, foundation friendships have lasted 10 plus years. That's what I love about it. Yeah, I would, it's so much. Like I still see items here. I can literally see an item that I got from good old Arc Trooper Mark like 12 years ago, 11, 12 years ago. And yeah, well, I've spoken at length before about all those sort of sentimental value items, and each of those items do have a good memory attached to them. Milky Way Skywalker, how are you, sir? Good to hear from you. Hey, Kerry, what's going on, man? I hope you're doing well. Pretty much stopped collecting more than gave to a character I love. So keen for holiday special Chewy. That one's just insanely cool. TVC chronic. It does. I'm not sure about the card image, but I don't care. Like that's going to go in a box, and I'm going to keep the figure. But yeah, Mendelssohn. What a man. What an absolute legend. Probably my favorite bit out of Secret Invasion was Ben Mendelsohn. Got a Mando Biker Scout. Awesome. I'm definitely hanging out for that one. I missed the other Biker Scout with Speeder Bike, but I definitely want to pick that one up. Headed home to open it at White Castle drive-through, hangry. I didn't have White Castle during my 2 adventures to the US. I was warned against it. So yeah, I didn't. Got Malgus today. Nice. Having trouble getting his abdomen to sit straight. Now, where's my... Let me see if I can find... Oh, tubs on wheels. This makes it so much easy. I just got my Malgus. Yeah, now that I've got him in hand, like again, I haven't touched him for a couple of weeks. I know what you mean, because he's almost got that double waist joint, Linda. I know I can see exactly how that would be a bit of a pain. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky because he's got that lower waist just above the belt, and then like just above that, he's got that sort of torso. And when you twist one, the other, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I had the same issue. Even now, like I've just twisted him all up. Maybe you just got to pose him in like a twisted thing where he's just like, he looks like a pretzel. Yeah, it is. That's definitely a bit painful. David, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. How's the room coming? I haven't checked you out in a while. How you been? I've been really good. I've been really busy. The room's going along awesome. Yeah, I'm going to endeavor to record a bit of a vlog later today to put up tomorrow. So I'll have a little bit of an update video. I think I did one last week. Might have been the week before, losing track a little bit, but it might have been the week before. But yeah, always a few things happening. I've cleaned up. I've got Black Series happening now. So yeah, I've got to straighten some. I had to adjust those top shelves, so a lot of the figures up there have fallen over, despite using copious amounts of blue tack to keep them all standing. um, so I've got to get them all set up before I do that. There's a few little bits and pieces I want to tidy up around the room before I shoot another video. But again, it's all about progress, so I'll probably just leave it the way it is and explain myself away. But yeah, no, things are going well. Good morning, Ian. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Thanks for tuning in. Guys, I've known you and others for over a decade now. So much has happened. It has been, man, big time, big changes over the years. Grown up. We've all sort of grown up big time. Like, I don't know. I've been through two sort of long-term relationships and a marriage, a separation. I've moved house probably half a dozen times in that amount of time. Oh, crazy. It's all life experience. Darth Phoenix, what's going on, man? Great to see you. I'm glad you could make it. This is a good time. And getting a bunch of folks that I don't get to see in the chat very often, just because when I'm usually doing it on a Saturday night, it's usually a terrible time for you folks in the US and Canada and all that. So it's great to see some names here that, yeah, this is fantastic. Also might meet Mark Hamill in November as he's finally doing his first con in 6 years. Wow, 6 years. Yeah, because he wasn't at Chicago, was he? He pulled out of Chicago. That's right. So that would have been Orlando. That's when I met him in Orlando at Celebration 2017. Wow, that's killer, man. Take that opportunity if you can. Hey, Paul, what's going on? Great to see you. It's also great to be seen. Need some more vids reviewing Star Wars shows. Ahsoka is sparking spirited debate at work. Yeah, look, I decided not to do it this time. I've for one, I've been loving the show. It's been my favorite series so far. Really, it's ticking all my boxes. What I get out of Star Wars, Ahsoka is ticking the boxes for me. So I'm really happy with it. I didn't want to do a review show since I don't know what it was when it was. I did the Book of Boba Fett, and then probably once Mandalorian season 3, it seemed like YouTube was just completely saturated with review shows, after shows, all that kind of thing. And it's kind of like, yeah, you're just sort of throwing another opinion out there, which is fine. I get it, but it just seemed YouTube was just super saturated in people doing review shows and after shows and all that kind of thing. So I decided to just pull out for this one and leave it, and just let enjoy it, you know. So I think I'm just gonna, I don't know, I might come back for the next season, next show, which is either going to be Skeleton Crew or the Acolyte. So they're going to be very interesting next year. Yeah, nothing else for the year. I might do, because we've got this week, we've got tomorrow is episode 7, then we've got a week left. So we've 2 episodes left. I don't know, maybe I'll get together and do a bit of a full season sort of talk, bit of a live stream. Maybe similar time to this. It'd be great if anyone wants to come and chat with me. Yeah, I might do that in a couple of weeks. It'll be 3 weeks now from now, I suppose. Yeah. 2 weeks. My brain's fried. This year's just gone too quick. Hey, thanks, Paul. It's coming along very, very quickly. I've been in this house for nearly 3 months now, so it's been slow, week to week, doing little bits and pieces in here, but it is really coming together. I've spent, probably just setting up the Black Series figures has probably been 5 or 6 hours, including pull downs, readjusting, doing all that, going through tubs, and matching accessories up, and doing all that. It's been a little bit laborious at times, but it's not too bad. But yeah, to sort of really, even some of the figures, when you get some of those figures, they've been in storage for a long time, and the plastic starts feeling like tacky and sticky. I've actually been putting them through the dishwasher, and it's actually with my dinner plates and stuff like that. They've actually come out really nice and clean. So definitely recommend doing that. It's just the hot soapy water wasn't really doing it, but the dishwashing tablets seem to be doing a good job. So I did that with a few last night, because I did just set up my sort of concept figures. And the 2 Snow Troopers, one of the Boba Fett's, and the Rebel Trooper. I don't know whether it's just the white plastic. It might just be the white plastic, but they were like sort of really, really sort of tacky. But yeah, put them through the dishwasher, and they're like just beautiful, brand new. So I was pretty stoked on that. Big time. Great to catch you. There's my chill time. Dinner time is over. Daddy and husband duties are done for the day. Nice work. No, that's awesome. Oh, I'm glad you could tune in. I know you said a couple of streams ago you'd love that you just missed it or something. And so I may have to reserve some time for an afternoon like this, as opposed to a Saturday evening. Because I generally have Tuesdays and Sundays are generally my days off. Occasionally that'll switch whether someone else is on leave or whatever, but not very often. But if this is a good time for people, I'm very, very happy to sort of come and hang out and do this on an afternoon for an hour or two. So, any thoughts on the Star Wars reveals at PulseCon? I honestly found it underwhelming. The pipelines were a joke. Other than Balin, Shin, and Krennic, the rest were kind of meh. For the most part, I think they were reasonable. There's obviously a reason why they're holding back, and that is, New York Toy Fair, New York Comic Con, all coming up within the next month or so, I believe. I know New York Comic Con's coming up. Toy Fair, I think, not too far away either. And the need for PulseCon now is probably void, because that was their sort of thing in lieu of the conventions during COVID, when conventions had just. And I dare say that it was more just just keeping up appearances and saying we're still going to do PulseCon. We're just going to throw you a couple of bones just to get you excited again for a couple of products. Let's go through the items right now. Black Series, Balin Shin, they look pretty solid. I'm looking forward to seeing Shin in hand. The hair sculpt looks, I'm not sure. It looks fine. Hasbro's promo images are never what they look like. They're always, super saturated, or, just the colors, the way they shine the light on them, not that great. I feel like she'll look better in person. I feel like the non-inclusion of robes for the 2 figures is lazy. We've had so many Black Series Jedi that haven't had robes. And considering the amount of time those 2 characters have spent in their robes, I think they should have been included. So that was kind of the big bummer with those 2 figures. The lightsaber blades could have been, they could have cast them in an orange plastic. They've got the orange plastic. They can do it. Because in the show they are, genuinely orange. That's the whole part of the thing. The Rex helmet, that looks killer. I'm definitely keen for the Captain Rex helmet. That all looks great side by side with my 332nd helmet. What else? Vintage Collection Krennic, fantastic. Would have gone with a bit more of a better card image. I think he looks fine. The figure looks good. I'm very happy to update my 5POA Krennic. And he's a character that probably should have been in Vintage Collection a long time ago. Still waiting for, obviously, Bodhi Rook and Base Malbus to come out in Vintage Collection. Cassian's getting re-released. So he was pipelined back Celebration, perhaps? So they're going to no, it was a recent event. It might have been San Diego that they so they're going to re-release Cassian. So he'll get the sort of updated facial tech printing with the face, so that'll be better. And Jyn Erso need a re-release too, but she peg warmed pretty hard, so who knows. But yeah, to get some more Rogue One characters out, even some more solo characters out on Vintage would be cool. What else was there? There was the TVC Hu Yang. That looks cool. Yeah, that was pretty much it, wasn't it? The pipelines, yeah. The next sort of wave of archive being sort of exclusive outside of America, which is a little bit strange. Our stores are literally clogged with the 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi. Like, I'll go into Target and they've got about 20 Palpatines. You go into Big W's, they've got about 20 Han Solos. Not sure what's going on there, but they're worried about clogging shelves in the States. So they're going to worry about clearing some crap out here as well. It's like the stores have ordered cases, but they've only been sent solid cases as opposed to, where there were mixed boxes of figures. Now they're sort of just doing, here's a box of Palpatines. It's like, oh, okay, cool. I'm not sure what's going on there, but yeah, otherwise, I don't know. It wasn't a big event. It wasn't huge. I think Marvel Legends definitely sort of came out on top. They had some great reviews for the Marvel Legends collectors. Like those 3 Spider-Mans, like I'm all over them. But yeah, we'll see. I think it's the amount of pre-orders that are up already. They start revealing more stuff. It's like far out. This stuff just it's out of control. Sometimes it feels like it's out of control. The only downside is his prices went up crazy. Like photo ops and autos alone cost $400 US. Ooh, yeah. I guess if the demand's there, YouTube is saturated for sure, but you got to do what makes you happy. I pulled back on Andor for that very reason. I hear what you're saying. Yeah, look, I've always just sort of made my content the way I make it, and I had some good fun doing I did my Book of Boba Fett book report, which was that was fun, and did Mando watch back season 1, and season 2. I think I did, but that was. Season 1 was when I was still doing Star Wars Go Figure. So that was kind of part of the podcast as well. But yeah, I don't know. It's not, I actually really enjoyed watching it once, then, just sort of chilling out for an hour and then watching it again before going to bed and just trying to just enjoying the episodes rather than, just getting straight on YouTube and spilling it all out. And I don't know. I got frustrated the other week when I sort of logged onto YouTube. I didn't get spoiled, but sort of because I'd watched the episode and I don't know, there were like 5 or 6 videos within 10, like just sort of scrolling down that had all used an image from the show within, an hour or 2 of having watched it. And it's like, come on, just ease off it a little bit, folks. You don't need to go and put an image as your thumbnail within 10 seconds of the show being released. You're just got to chill out a little bit. Give it a day. Put out a blank thumbnail, do something simple, and then upload it afterwards once the show's been out for 24 hours at least. Come on. Just promise not to do any reaction videos. You won't get a reaction video out of me, I promise. Yeah. I've always said reaction videos, once you've got a camera on you, you are already going to react a certain way for the camera. So yeah, it's kind of it's very false, in my opinion. That's fine. I'm not going to complain about people that are going to do reaction videos. Reaction videos are when someone is filming you unknowingly. That's when you get an interesting reaction, when someone doesn't know they're being filmed. As soon as you set a camera up to look at you and you're watching a trailer, or you know the camera's on you, and if you're able to put on some tears and it's all BS, in my opinion. That's just, you won't catch that on my channel, I promise. Thoughts on all the clones Mandos we are getting in both scales? You know what? I've kind of pulled out of clones, the Phase 2 clones, especially in TVC, um, until they fix those damn helmets. They're just too big. They're just too stupid. I just can't get behind them. The amount of times I've wanted to go grab some of those 3/32 TVCs, and the helmets, they just look like big buckets. And I didn't get the Sabine that's just come out, the deluxe Sabine. I made it work. He got the Sabine, and the helmet was just stupid. Like, it's just so big. So I'll eventually I will get that Sabine, but she will not be wearing that helmet. That's going straight in the accessories box. Because it's I don't know. I don't know why they do it with some. Like, they did it with Bo-Katan and Cosca Reeves, where they did swap out heads, and then Axe Woves didn't, and then Sabine didn't. It's kind of like, do one or the other. Do one of the other guys. Now, I know they've pretty much addressed. I think it might have been. I can't remember who it was. Someone sort of said, this is going to change, and they said, yeah, look, we know we goofed up on that Sabine. All future Mandos will have swap out heads. So until they start doing that for clones as well, like, don't even need a swap out head unless it's a character focused clone. If it's just like a grunt, like just a blank trooper, like, don't even worry about having a head underneath. Just put a good sculpt of helmet over the top, and that's all you need. That's good. That's fine. If you're doing someone like Captain Rex, Gree, whatever, do a swap out head. But yeah, for the most part, just do a good sculpt of the helmet. I want to talk about what's next at Boom Ahsoka breakdown stream. Yeah. I reckon I'll do one. 9 p.m. Pacific in the States. Awesome time. Sweet. Yeah, I might even make it an hour earlier, just for people on the other side where it's a little bit later, just to bring back that time a little bit more. Your room vid's been inspired me to finally get started on my Star Wars room home office. Hope my landlord doesn't mind me painting the walls card back. That's fantastic. That's awesome. Yeah, I kind of wish I did paint in here, because we've got this sort of, it's a very 70s sort of beige, custard beige. But I'll hopefully, once I start getting some sort of 3M hooks and stuff and putting some artwork up, that'll sort of, I just couldn't be bothered. I hate painting. Painting is the worst job ever. I really don't like doing it. I don't like preparing. I like the look of it afterwards. I may one day. The landlord's happy for me to paint in the house. He's happy for us to do all that kind of thing. He will buy the paint if we do the painting. So that's all good. He's more than happy for us to do that. But yeah, I might just leave it as is for now. It's not an urgent thing for me. So that's awesome. I look for, you definitely have to get in touch and let me know what you do with your room. I vote for Shin's. I do too. I think it'll look good, but just the way, like I said, the way they photograph, the lights are up, just casts a big shadow, makes the hair stick out, looks like it sticks out like here. I think it'll work. And yeah, Linda, exactly right. Shin's hair will need a dark wash, absolutely. Order the Rex helmet immediately. That's awesome. This is a kind of a no-brainer, though. Excel spreadsheet. Yeah, I don't even have a Microsoft Excel. I've got like a notepad thing in my phone. Hey, Big Abdul 2K14. Good to see you. It's a very good day. It is nearly 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The sun is out. It is warm. It is delightful. We have a long weekend coming up, which is awesome. Hope you're doing well as well. But yeah, I'm sort of trying to keep up with my pre-orders, but there's a lot, and it's kind of like they sort of, I don't know. I was trying to look on Zing, sort of like going, okay, what's coming out next, and going on through my work website, saying, okay, what's due to come out next, so I can make sure I get them ordered in time for them to come out. Because I know we just put through Kessel Run Air and Collectibles, just new pre-orders went up yesterday morning. It would have been yesterday morning because the email blast, my boss was off, so he organised all that yesterday. So yeah, so we got all the newest stuff up for pre-order, which is awesome. So I got to make sure I can crank them out. And yeah, I'm trying to do most of it through work. Obviously, the things that we can't get a hold of generally go exclusive to Zing and EB Games and the big retailers. So it's tricky. I'm expecting someone to come by. So I will wrap up this stream in the next few minutes. If I get a phone call, I will have to bounce. So we'll try and wrap up in the next few minutes. So I'm getting some things delivered, and I need to open up the garage. So I need to go out and open it for the delivery people. And I just heard some talking, so I'm not sure if it's them here yet or not. But so many pre-orders coming through this month. The original dates were all over the place. That's why I'm confused. When it comes to vintage, comes to Black Series, they're so staggered. When you used to know that, if you ordered back in the day when you could order a case through Big Bad Toy Store or Entertainment Earth or something, and they just, back when shipping from the States wasn't, twice as much as the figures cost. You used to be able to just order the case and you'd know you were getting all the figures. Now it's so sporadic. I'm not sure what they're doing at the moment, but it's ridiculous. Because they're just, it's one figure this week, two figures next week, three figures, in 2 months. It's silly. I don't get it. I'm not sure what they're doing. Yeah, my wallet always hates me. It does. Just after 5 a.m. here. Of the future figures released in God scale, I'm looking forward to the retro collection releases the most. Not the original 96 ones, but new properties such as Book of Boba and the prequels. Yeah, I think I'll definitely be getting on those as well, Ian. They're the sort of only retros that I've sort of jumped on. And as much as I keep saying, I don't care about retro, they keep getting me with the newest stuff. And to get Boba Fett, to get Cad Bane, Fennec, all those characters in those retro look, I think it looks fantastic. And I really like the way I've sort of up the top of my shelf, I've got all my retros on a couple of steps. I don't have one in my hand, but yeah, I've got those sort of acrylic tiered stands. So they're looking pretty good up there. I like having all of them on display just above all my vintage stuff. So it's cool. Try so hard not to pre-order stuff like you used to. I can't take all the random payments and hits anymore. Yeah, so you kind of got to get to the point where it's pre-order. When I'm trying to pre-order, I'm trying to just pay it all outright, so I don't get slogged with a payment when something gets released, or being like someone ringing up and saying, "Oh, you've got 2-3 figures to pick up, and you owe $120." It's just like, oh, geez, I guess I'm not eating this week. I'm slowing army building the retro collection Death Trooper. Slowing or slowly? My favorite releases. Yeah, it's a good figure, man. I wish I got 2. I only got 1, but that's okay. I'm happy with the 1. But yeah, some cool stuff happening though. Yeah, I'll definitely be. So I've got a couple of videos to do today, this afternoon. Whether I do that before or after I mow the lawn, whether I mow the lawn or not, that's yet to be seen. I want to do a review of the 332nd Black Series helmet. I really love that thing. I've had a couple of weeks to sort of sit and look at it. You know, it's probably been a month. I'd like to do that. I've got to do my my vlog, bit of an update, sort of show everyone a bit closer what I've done with my Black Series shells behind me. Got to do my 3rd of the Max Rebo band for Power of the Force Fridays this week. So we're looking at Droopy McCall and Barquin Dan. So they're going to be up this week. Don't have any other new figures coming in this week, I don't think. So yeah, I don't know. I've been pretty full on with the content lately. I might have to try space it out a little bit more. Just there's been a couple of weeks there where I've had almost a video every day, and I can't keep doing that. So maybe a couple of days I might try and do a video. But if anyone else got any requests, feel free to drop me a message. I've got a good bunch of Power of the Force Friday videos planned for the next probably month. So that's cool. And in terms of my updates and stuff like that, I'll keep them rolling. Also hoping next month, I think I'll be hanging out with Sith Lord 229, joining him for one of his live streams. Going to do like a with Daniel East and James Robo Quiff. So definitely hoping to make that happen in the next few weeks. I think we're talking about sort of mid October. So that'll be here before we know it. What else? What else is there to discuss before I stop thinking properly? No, I got nothing, guys. I completely lost my train of thought there for a second. But yeah, I was starting to wrap up, so I use a crystal ball to pre-order, try to play the guessing games to what figures will be hard to find. Yeah, that's tricky in itself. Roll on, Droopy McCool. Definitely do. You got to. That'll be good chat. All right, folks. Well, I'm going to wrap up. We're at the 59.5-minute mark. So thank you all for coming and hanging out. I'm glad because, like I said at the start, I really didn't prepare this one enough. I postponed it 2 or 3 times just because I was sick earlier in the week and late last week. And then today I even had to postpone it by a couple of hours. So to anyone that came and clicked on earlier, I know Tim, Mr. Tim Hayes. He was here a couple of hours ago and sort of said, "Are you still actually going to go live this time?" Yes, I am this time. So I appreciate you all coming and hanging out. It's been fun. So we'll see you. Yeah, Ian, go back to bed for a couple of hours. It's way too early. Thanks, Tony. Appreciate it. It's great to hear from you. Great to hear from some of you folks over in the US and everywhere else around the world. It's awesome. I'll definitely be keeping this time slot open for the future. So may the force be with you, everyone. Have a great rest of week, and we'll see you all very soon.